Hey, what's going on, Coin Out TV subscribers? Robert Welkney here. I got to see Godzilla Minus One in theaters over the weekend, and I thought, you know what? Let me just go ahead and put the camera on and talk about the movie a little bit briefly to share my thoughts with the movie and hopefully maybe get some of your comments and feedback to see what you thought about the movie. This will maybe have some mild spoilers. I'm not really going to get into the details heavily, but you've been warned. If you're watching a review video about something, chances are there's going to be some spoilers out there. So Godzilla Minus One, this is a Japanese Godzilla movie. I believe it's the most recent one. The last one was Shin Godzilla from 2016, which I haven't seen, and now I'm curious. I want to go see it, but it looks like it's only streaming on Crunchyroll, so hopefully maybe Netflix or HBO or somebody will get it so I can check it out. I went and saw this with my buddy Mike in the movie theaters. It was crowded. I was surprised. I went on a Sunday at like 1:30 in the afternoon and it was pretty packed. There was people of all ages, families with little kids crying in the audience, something that I despise, pet peeve of mine. Older people, younger people, people my age. It was an interesting thing. I was just like, wow, I feel like I'm at a movie premiere on a Friday night. I mean, during the pandemic, the strikes going on and the economy and things like that happening, it's been really hard to be excited about going to movies and seeing movies in theaters and the crowd and the buzz. But Godzilla Minus One has kind of brought that back, or at least it's for me, and I was like, all right, it's part of the zeitgeist. I need to go see this, and I enjoyed it a lot. I mean, a lot of people are saying best movie of the year, and I can see why they're saying that because a lot of movies have been delayed in 2023, and we haven't really gotten all of the movies that I think were supposed to be out this year. I haven't seen Oppenheimer or Barbie yet, so I don't know how it compares to those. I actually haven't seen a lot of movies this year. I'm kind of been waiting for them to come out on Blu-ray or streaming. I picked up Guardians 3 and the latest Mission Impossible movie on Blu-ray during like Black Friday sales, and I haven't even watched those yet. So once I watch those, I'll have a little bit of an idea how it stacks up. But I think it's pretty great. On Letterboxd, I gave it 3 stars. And let me just get to like the synopsis and some of the details. I got my iPad here. So Godzilla Minus One, IMDb synopsis: post-war Japan is at its lowest point when a new crisis emerges in the form of a giant monster baptized in the horrific power of the atomic bomb. So it kind of feels like a throwback, an OG story. I don't know if this is supposed to be Godzilla's origin. When I was a kid, I watched Godzilla movies, as a youth and later on, and I have seen all of the recent Hollywood ones that I think are so. They have their moments, but they're kind of silly. But this Godzilla Minus One crushes all of those. It's definitely the best Godzilla movie I think I've ever seen. It's one of the better disaster movies in modern times, one of the better monster movies out there in recent times that I can think of. When Godzilla is in the city terrorizing and smashing and throwing things around and stepping on people and biting people and throwing people, all of that looks great. It's convincing. The combination of miniatures and CGI, live action, and special effects all seem to combine well. Now here's the talking points. If you know anything about like the buzz of this movie, most people are saying it's all about the characters and the character development, and you can actually almost have this movie without Godzilla and still have a great movie. The casting and the characters and the story are really well done. They're deep. Let me get into the cast a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna try and say some of these names here. Minami Hamabe plays Noriko, kind of the female lead of the movie, and Ryunosuke Kamiki plays Koichi, kind of the lead male of the movie. Briefly, he is a pilot in the World War II, and he kind of like chickens out from being, sacrificing his life in the war and lands, and has regret, military or regret and PTSD and things like that kind of troubling him. Connects with this Naroki back when he goes back home, and they wind up with like a little girl that they take care of, and they sort of form a bond, and you get like that light romance, but more of like a caretaking and parenting and taking care of each other. And a lot of years kind of pass. It actually shows like a little bit of montage with the years passing. This is all kind of semi-spoiler territory here. And then Godzilla eventually makes his way into the city, terrorizes things, messes things up, and you're like, all right, now it's game time. Another character I want to feature was the neighbor. I think they call her auntie mostly. It's Sakura Ando. Her character's name is Samuki, and she is the neighbor that helps kind of take care of the kid, and she's got like her own little character arc as well. Each of the characters have like their own character arc. The hero of the story, Koichi, he teams up with a bunch of dudes who are on a ship, a boat, and they're trying to like rescue mines, and they encounter Godzilla when they're out there, and all of those characters are sort of unique and interesting. So that's the thing about the story, about this movie, about this Godzilla movie. Is you care about the characters. Generally, when you see a Godzilla movie, you just want to see characters die. In this, you kind of want to see them live and survive and see what happens. You get sort of engaged. So those are a lot of my pros there. Here's some of my cons. The look of the Godzilla, it was interesting. From the top up, the waist up, I thought he looked pretty cool. The face, the neck, the back, all that, the arms. But from the waist down, to me, the legs, the design of the legs and the belly, it looked kind of pregnant or something pudgy, like a kangaroo or something. I thought that looked a little weird, a little saggy, like out of shape, like Godzilla needs to hit the Peloton or something. So I thought that was kind of a little off. A con also is the pacing. When you get about an hour into the movie and Godzilla is like terrorizing things, and then it goes kind of back to character moments and plotting of how they're going to fight Godzilla and stuff, it really slows down again. And the pacing there was really strange. It was like, okay, let's have dinner, let's talk, let's pass the time and chill. When really they should be like, okay, we can't sleep. We need to get on some 5-hour energy drinks and figure out a way that we're going to tackle Godzilla and fight him. And it's strange that they kind of slow things down. And I was like kind of thinking to myself, was okay, some of the stuff should have been cut out or ramped up or something. The other thing I will say is the sound design of this movie. Now I know this movie is they're saying 15 million, low budget movie, which is amazing how great it looks. There's a lot of sound effects and music things that feel like they're sort of missing. Like when there's a lot of chaos and things happening, I feel like there's missing sounds. Like a Michael Bay movie would have maybe overdoing it with like barking dogs and sirens and crashing sounds. Whereas this kind of underdid it, where like things were happening and there was a lot of noise and crashing, but I felt like there was times when there should have been more. There should have been like the sound of the ambient, out there. And also the music score is, it's there and it comes and goes, but like there was times when I was like, okay, this moments could have really been milked, with a little music, a little, maybe that's an American thing, US films, we just milk everything with music cues, and maybe, overseas, they're not really doing that. Let me mention also the director, Takashi Yamazaki is the director. I watched some of his trailers for some of his early movies, and it does look like he's very knowledgeable about special effects. I think he wrote this, did some of the effects, and directed it, so hats off to him. Hope Godzilla Minus One gets nominated. It'd be interesting to see if this gets nominated for Best Picture. Definitely Best Foreign Language Picture. Oscars, Academy, if you're watching, go ahead and nominate it for Best Picture. It's got the characters, the drama, there is some things missing that would have taken this up to like a 4 or 5 star for me. Like I said, the pacing, some of the sound design stuff, but I was glad that I got to see it in the theaters, and it was kind of an interesting a time all around. You can see from my face here that I don't get excited about a lot of modern day movies, so it's kind of cool to witness that and enjoy. And it's interesting now I've got I haven't seen the Monarch show on Apple TV. If you've seen that, let me know if that's worth checking out. I feel like a kid again. Like we've got Godzilla movies. There's also the Godzilla King Kong movie that's coming out next year that honestly looks kind of terrible from the trailer, but the Monarch show looks kind of cool. And we're just in kind of like an interesting time now. I think following the strike, maybe things will kind of shift and pivot. Maybe Hollywood and non-Hollywood and cinema will kind of get their act together and straighten, steer the ship into a better direction so we can get these movies out that are enjoyable and fun and worth watching. So, all right, that's it. Let me know what you thought if you saw Godzilla Minus One. Also, there's something else I want to say, but it's like a big spoiler, so I won't say that in this video. But if you have suggestions on why you think it's called Godzilla Minus One, I'd be curious to know your thoughts. So put that in the comments below. But say spoiler and then a couple lines and try and hide the comment or something. So because that is something I'd like to talk about, the name of the movie, what your thoughts are on that. So anyway, that's it for this video for CoinOp TV. We'll see you next time.